Everyone, welcome back. So in the last tutorial, we built a front-end user interface for our decentralized application. In this tutorial, we're going to go over all the code that pertains to this front-end user interface. Now this code is inside the index.js file that you can find in this link under the video, the simple storage dApp. Go to front end, pages, and index.js, and you can download the whole code. So today we're going to go over this code, but in the interest of time, this is only part of a six-part tutorial. It's not a full JavaScript course, so I'm not going to explain every single line of code, but I am going to explain the most important functions and sections of this front end. Now, if you haven't done so already, make sure to like the video or previous videos and subscribe to this channel. Turn on your notifications so you can get notified of the future videos I'm going to make. All right, so let's look into this code. This code, at the very beginning, everything is inside this export default function home, right? Everything is inside of here. Now we're going to open this up and we'll see that the first couple of lines from 13 to 21, we are just defining a few variables. Now we're going to use all these variables throughout the file. Now, as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different functions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 functions, and then the return section, right? Whereas the HTML of the page you're looking at. Let's go over the first three functions: the connect wallet, get provider, and use effect. These functions are most likely going to stay the same in the future. You don't really have to change them that very often. These functions are the ones that are connecting the user's wallet to the decentralized application and making sure that they are using the Sepolia testnet, right? So if you open in line 51, you open the use effect, you'll see inside the use effect that what we're doing is we're making sure we're connected in the Web3 modal instance. We're connected to Sepolia, and if the wallet is not connected, we're going to check the value of the wallet. Is it true or false? If it's true, nothing happens. If it's false, then we're going to activate or execute these two functions, right? Connect to wallet and initialize Web3 modal, right? So right here is a connect to wallet and the Web3 modal. So here's where we connect the user's wallet to our decentralized application. Next, before we go into these functions, let's look at the return section. In the return section, you'll see that this is everything that's going to be displayed on the page, right? So we'll see here in the return that the head is going to be, we have our logo, and we'll call the text of the tab storage dApp. See up here, storage dApp, and then our logo. Underneath in the main section, we have the rest. We have a link to my YouTube channel, and then by image charming data. By image and charming data. If you click on it, it'll go to the YouTube channel. So you can update this with whichever link and logo that you want. And underneath, let's skip this section for a second. We'll go all the way to line 190. Everything you see in 190 and below is the grid style, and it's all of this: the LinkedIn, GitHub, YouTube, and Patreon text and links. But above 190, if you go to the this section right here, 162 to 188, you'll see that we have our title, our description, title, description, and then we have our input field, a button on 176 next to our input field, and then another button here below, right here, to get the stored sentence. So two buttons and an input field. So let's look at these two buttons. Let's start with the getMySentence button right here, 180, line 180. So getMySentence button, it says get stored sentence. When we click on this button, it will activate this getMySentence function, right? So let's go up and we'll see where that is. GetMySentence function is the fifth function on line 86, and it says set the loading variable to true, right? And if we'll see here, if the loading variable will go to line 186. If the loading variable is true, then write loading. You'll see right underneath, you'll see loading. If it's false, then write this, and we'll see this in a sec. So set the loading variable to true, and then get the provider or signer information of our contract, and then build a new contract, create a new contract instance. We'll call this, this will be my contract. This instance will have my contract address and API and the provider details. And we'll call this new contract instance simple storage contract. And then we're going to execute on the simple storage contract, we're going to call the getSentence function. And the getSentence function is nowhere here in the file. This function belongs to the contract. And remember, if you go to the contract, the getSentence function right here is a function that when we call it, which returns a string or the value of our string on the blockchain, the last stored sentence. So we're gonna, this variable is going to be equal to the last stored sentence of the blockchain. In this case, loading. My for sentence is the last sentence of in the blockchain. So how is it doing that? It's taken my for sentence, and then it's establishing it, assigning it to the get the stored sentence variable right here. So now this is going to be equal to my for sentence, and look at this. The stored sentence right now has been updated to be my stored sentence. So that's why, which is right under the button. So when I get the stored sentence, it loads quickly, and then it shows my for sentence. Now, let's look at the input field on line 170. Input field, on change, whenever we change the input, or anything we put in there, let's say so much, it's going to assign the set sentence written. So let's look at the set sentence written. Where is that function? Set sentence written. This is going to be the new sentence. So if we write, it starts with so much empty, but if we write a new something new in the input field, like let's say meme or meme, then this will be meme, and then this will be equal to meme, sentence written, right? Sentence written, and now the input field, you see sentence written, this will be the new value of the input field. And this is important because the new value is something that we're going to pull when we click the submit button. Okay, so now we have the render button right next to the input field, and this render button is going to be right here. This render button is this function, and it just says if the wallet is connected, if it's true, then check if it's loading. If it's loading, just say loading, You'll see that right here, loading, 3 dots. If it's not loading, then return another button that has the text submit, and will, whenever somebody clicks on it, it will activate the get the sentence function. Set the sentence. And let's go to the set the sentence function. Set the sentence is right here, is our fourth and last function we haven't talked about. And here the set the sentence function gets the signer of this function, which is the details of the wallet of the person signing this, create a new instance of the contract, and then call the set sentence function of this new instance. Remember the set sentence function in the contract has an input, takes an input with it, and this input is going to be the sentence written. This is the input from the input field. Remember, sentence written right here from the input field. So it's taken that input, and then it's going to wait for it to finish, and then set loading to false, thereby inserting the new sentence into the blockchain. Let's see how it works. There we go, finished loading, and now the new sentence, get source sentence, is MEME. And there you go. There you have it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and in a couple days I'm going to show you the last video of deploying this app to the web on Vercel.com.